We're going to just hold off a couple moments till Coach arrives, okay? She can. Welcome to the NCAA March Madness first round post-game press conference. Please take this time to silence your cell phones and remember no flash photography is permitted. We would also like to remind you that no outside recording or distribution is permitted by the NCAA for this event. We are joined by the University of Southern California head coach Lindsay Gottlieb and athletes Juju Watkins, India Otto, and Mackenzie Forbes. We ask that you please only ask a question when you have the microphone in your hand and that you state your name and publication each time you are handed the microphone. If you have joined us through Zoom, please raise your hand and include your name and publication when called on as well. Thank you, and we will start with an opening statement from the head coach, move on to questions for the athletes, and then back to questions for Coach.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for being here. This crowd, I think, speaks to the growth of women's basketball, to the excitement around our team that our players have earned, but it means a lot, and we appreciate the coverage. First of all, I want to credit Texas A&M-Corpus Christi for winning a championship, for having 22 wins on the year, bringing a whole lot of fight in here and a lot of pride. I thought they represented themselves really well and challenged us. And I'm happy to get through the first one. It had been a while since we played. I have players who were eager to get going again. And I think it was a good one for us. I think when you look at the numbers, a team that kind of really disrupts you with zones and traps, to have 25 assists and only 12 turnovers speaks well to us. We obviously started hot. And we have things to work on too, which I know that we'll get back to that tomorrow, but really proud of our team. I think, as I've said before, Juju handles the weight of everything with just a grace that you can't really describe. I thought she had a terrific debut here, made all the right decisions. Kenzie is playing as well, I think, as virtually any guard in the country in terms of leadership and knocking down shots. And I'm proud that India Otto's in here because there's no one as responsible for building this program as Otto. And I think you can't fake who you are as a team and who you are as a person. And I think the way the team reacts when she's out there just shows the character that she has and a huge, the huge impact she's had on our players. So good day for us, and we'll get back to work and have the chance to play another game on Monday night, which we're really grateful for.
All right, we can open to questions for players, and we'll start in the front here.
Coach, right here, LT Willis, TT Sports TV1. This is actually for you and everybody. I don't know about y'all, but I couldn't sleep tonight. But what is it like to finally to get this over with, this first game win for your program? That's for everybody to ask.
You want me to go first, or you want me to defer?
If we could defer to the players, that would be great, and then we'll come back to Coach after the players have exited. Thank you.
It feels good. I think, like Coach kind of hinted at, like we were definitely itching to play. Had like essentially 2 weeks of practice, so even like yesterday, I was like, I feel like everyone's playing besides us. But yeah, it definitely feels good to get it under our belt and to be here in Galen. The crowd was awesome today. I think it really affects us, as you can see out there. So yeah, it feels good.
Hey Juju, number one down under your belt. Talk to me about, after getting this win, how excited are you to go through this journey? And also, what advice have you gotten from Cheryl Miller about what it takes to make it through this journey?
Yes, the first one. I mean, this is like the most exciting time in basketball, so I'm just grateful to be a part of it. And I think that there's a lot on the line, and that really gives us a lot of energy and momentum going into the game. So I'm just excited as this is my first run. So whatever I need to do to help out the team, I'm going to do it. And as far as advice that I've gotten from GOAT, she's just, she trusts in my mentality. I think we're similar in some ways as far as just the competitiveness to want to win. And she's just always encouraged that and encouraged me never to lose that. So I'm just here trying to compete with my team.
Rich, KTLA 5 local news. Juju and Mackenzie and the team, congratulations on the win. You guys are both really dependable scorers. The defense, though, tonight was highlighted. 7 blocks in that first quarter, 3 steals, 2 back-to-back steals, 4 blocks. How did that kind of set the tone defensively to get out to that really good start?
Yeah, it's funny you say that because I think we probably felt like we could have been a lot better defensively. But yeah, obviously, like, Juju's a great shot blocker, and, I try to be as active as I can defensively because when we're running out in transition, I think that's when we're playing our best. So I think we definitely had a couple hoes where we're like, we need to string some stops together so we can kind of get that pace back, which I thought we did a good job of in the third quarter. So.
Jill Painter-Lopez, KCAL CBS. Juju, the single season scoring record, which you got tonight, obviously I'm sure you and Cheryl have talked about it, but what does that mean to you, and what has she talked to you about that? And I would imagine you guys have had some fun with that.
Oh, I wasn't even aware that happened, but I'm just grateful, honestly, to Coach has so much trust in me, and I'm grateful for that, and my teammates have so much trust in me, so I'm just grateful to be in that mention and to be part of the Trojan legacy. Right on.
Sorry, I missed it. What was the? Yeah, well. Oh, gotcha. Ooh. Okay, you go. I didn't know either.
Tuknina win with the LA Times. Juju, I feel like we always ask India about you, so if we could just ask you about India, just what's it like seeing her have this moment? You guys go way back, so what's it like celebrating this moment for her?
I was more excited for Otto than those are the best points I've seen all season. So I was more excited for her than the win. Well, no, I'm not gonna say that. that's far, but she deserves it, bro. Like, we see her score every day in practice, so to see her come out and just, I don't know, she lit up the crowd tonight, bro. So, congrats.
Luke Evans, Orange County Register. Just to piggyback off that, India, you've been through this program for 5 years, a lot of ups and downs. You've seen it all, and to have a moment like tonight where you see this crowd so full at Galen and all cheering for you, arguably the loudest that they were all night. Just what does that mean, and just this journey to you?
I think honestly words fall short to describe what that feeling meant to me. I literally got goosebumps after I hit that 3 and I was coming back down, and just to hear the crowd. As you mentioned, I've been here for 5 years, and my first year there was nobody in the stands, and obviously last year we went to Blacksburg and played and didn't make it past the first round, so it's incredible to make it past this round. You don't take those moments for granted, but yeah, it was incredible. I mean, that's a core memory made for me for sure, and I felt like just a culmination of everything that I've put in to this program the last 5 years, and it was really, really special.
Yeah, this is for Juju. Bill Plaschke, LA Times. You committed 1 turnover in the game, and it was the first play of the game. What's going through your mind?
Oh my God!
How do you fight the feeling of, oh no, here we go again?
Wait, what do you mean?
How do you fight the
like
feeling?
when I turned it over?
Yeah, it was the very first play, first time you touched the ball. In your
I
first
mean,
tournament game.
I gave myself a little grace knowing that this is. It was like the first play. I haven't played in 2 weeks, so I was like, okay, like let me get it back. But that's crazy. That's good news.
We have about time for 1 or 2 more questions, so Blue will go first.
Will Camardella, Annenberg Media. Juju, I'm curious, now that you've gotten your first March Madness game out of the way, I'm curious in terms of what you expected versus what it was actually like in terms of intensity of the opponent, pressure on yourself, knowing one loss ends your season. Sort of, what do you take away from that experience moving forward?
I think it's just important to have confidence. I have a lot of confidence in this team. It's a lot on the line, but at the end of the day, I trust that my teammates and I are going to get the job done because we put in so much work. But honestly, I didn't know what to expect. Still don't really know what to expect, but I'm just here for the ride, knowing what I need to do every game. So I'm just going to give all that I can, and hopefully that ends with the result that we want.
And this will be our last question, Sue. Thank you.
Mackenzie, you're maybe the only one on the team that has NCAA, one of the few NCAA tournament experience. You guys were at an extreme high after the Pac-12 championship, and then this is obviously a big high. How do you get the team settled down and face Kansas, which is going to be quite the battle on Monday?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think we have a group. Obviously I'm the only one with tournament experience, but I think we've been battle tested all throughout the season. We have the double overtime game at Arizona. I had to kind of pull that one out and then come down, turn around, and beat ASU. Then we have double time versus UCLA in Vegas, have to turn around and play Stanford. So those are no easy matches back to back. So I think in a way with that kind of rapidly matured us. So I think, this team is really hungry, and I think we don't really have trouble kind of getting people focused back in. I think this team wants to win so bad. We know, that this is our shot. So I think, it takes everyone up here, helps in leading the team in that way. So.
All right. Thank you, girls.
Thank you.
And we can start again with the gentleman in the brown sweater. So you can start with your question for Coach.
Sorry, my two little ones are sitting over here. I'm making sure someone's not getting tackled or whatever. Yeah, Mama. Do you know what's sitting here? Her two favorite words are SC and Juju. So, smart girl. Yes, up. Here they come. Are you guys okay if they just sit here? Yeah. Okay, got you. You want to just sit here? Can you sit here, Jay? Can you sit in the seat? No.
Hello.
Just sit here.
Yes.
Yep. Go for it. Sorry for the distraction.
Okay, Coach, as I
Yes.
was saying earlier, what's it like for you to finally, this game is over with now and everything, but getting to this point, what was going through your mind as the game started? What was going through your mind?
I mean, we're not unique to have a bit of a not near the mic. Not near the mic.
It's double, yes.
Yeah? What does he see from the stat sheet?
Oh, it's scary.
Yep, she's locked in. Sorry. It's, we're not unique in that we had 2 weeks. We probably had less than some people who didn't play all the way through their conference championship game. But I think there's a balance of excitement, nerves, energy. But once that ball goes up, I'm enamored by the crowd. I think we never take it for granted how, this community has come out for us, for this team. The change that's happened so rapidly with that. Yes, it's so amazing, and I think the feeling of the building puts me at ease, because then it's just our team playing a game, and you get into the moment and you try to make adjustments and make sure I give the players a chance to be as successful as possible.
Coach, right here, Steve Finley, Culver City News, Culver City Observer. What do you take from the NBA to come into a situation? You've had a lot of experience in college.
Yep.
What do you take from the NBA at the highest level in the world? What do you take from that to bring into your situation here at USC?
So, I mean, there's a lot of things, to do something for 20 years, coach women's college basketball, and then pivot and go to the NBA. We probably don't have enough time to tell you how life-changing that was for me, how much it expanded my mind. But just specific to your question right now, I think there's two really major things. The first is that coming back to college basketball at a time when NIL and the transfer portal and player autonomy kind of has exploded, I think, maybe my mindset was already a little bit more there. I'm kind of more progressive in terms of just wanting, players to have rights and abilities. But having spent time in the NBA where you just have to understand that this is the player's career. Of course they're trying to make money. Of course they're trying to advance their career. And at the same time, it doesn't work unless your locker room is about what impacts winning. So I think that's translated really well, the experiences I had there, and watching, JB Bickerstaff really manage that, of how you handle a locker room and how those things can happen at the same time, where you care about winning, but also you care about individual players' goals, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing I would say is the spacing and the actions that we run and the type of offense we want to play. And obviously, if you throw a player like Juju into the mix and Mackenzie Forbes, I can do more NBA-style things, and Rhea's really embraced kind of using the space to her advantage and things like that. So I would say the mentality and the offensive spacing and actions that we try to run. Buddy, you have to sit. You have to sit still or you're going to go. You got to sit still or you're going to go. She can't control herself. You can. Please sit.
Hey, Coach, Connor Morissette with 24/7 Sports. Congrats on a great team win. I know it's so early with Juju in her career, but passing the single-season scoring mark with Cheryl, when I call her a generational talent right now, even though she has so much in front of her, what's your response to that?
Say, you'd be crazy if you didn't call her that, right? I mean, I haven't been afraid to talk about how good we think Juju is, especially with what's going on in real time here. Like when you guys said she broke the single-season scoring record, I mean, that's crazy for any freshman. It's when you think about it at USC, where the woman she surpasses is literally the best basketball player of all time. Certainly in college, Cheryl's pro career was obviously, cut short by injury. So I just think we're watching something really spectacular happen with Juju. I was on some call the other day where I said, I think we can analyze stats, and we can talk about turnovers or shooting efficiency or what have you, but to look at the overarching thing of the impact she's had on a program, she makes others around her better, not just with she has attention and she kicks, for a three for somebody else. Ryan is actually her favorite person in the world, so this is going to go well. But she makes those around her better by, I believe there's a greater confidence in our locker room all the time because the way Juju carries herself, or there's a striving for excellence. Like whether she says it or not, she impacts those around her to want to achieve greatness, and I think that's where some of this lies too. We have other terrific players. We would not be here without Caleb Padilla and Rhea and Mackenzie Forbes. I could go on and on, Clarice. I mean, all the ways that we've won games. But in terms of what the impact on this program that she's had, I don't know if there's a player that's had it in their freshman year on a program like ever. And so I think we can recognize that as well. Anybody sit?
Lindsay, hey, Lindsay.
Yes.
Specifically, just tonight, you mentioned yesterday you went through and dissected every single coverage that, Juju's faced this year. And tonight looked like she was playing very kind of measured and was making a lot of reads that she's kind of developed as, a player over the course of time. How have you seen her progress as a passer and in those areas of her game and as an overall engine of the offense and not forcing shots?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've seen a lot of improvement. I think tonight, if she shoots the three ball better tonight, it probably looks like one of her best games on the offensive end, because I thought she attacked when it was time to attack. I thought she kicked when it was time to kick. I thought she shot pull-ups. She got to the rim. She took open threes. I think she's continued to improve. It's funny, Bill, you mentioned the first play of the game. I went straight to kind of an ISO for her to see what are they going to do. They kind of single covered her on that one, and she just, muffed it a little bit, but I can go back to that. I can go to something else. We definitely understand that we can put her in spots on the floor, and she's going to make the right read. A couple times I put her on the post, and I thought she had great passes, right, out of the post. I mean, I think she really just can understand spots on the floor now. And this team, Corpus Christi threw a lot of various looks at us, like the traps and stuff, and you just got to make plays out of it. And other people, really made plays as well. Obviously, Forbes, he shot it really well, and, Rhea finished when it was her time to do so. But a lot of, the defensive schemes we see are because of what people are trying to plan around Juju.
All right, and we have time for one last question. Thank you.
Hey, Coach. McKenna Keel, Pac-12.
Hi.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
That was fun to watch. I think it's obvious to anyone who's spent time around this team, obviously seeing Reese and Jordan up there with you, that it's truly a family. But I think we all got to see that tonight with the way that the team reacted to India's buckets. How do you carry that with you through this run, and just how special and unique is it?
Yeah. Well, I think this might be Jordan's last press conference for a while, so thank you guys for bearing with him, although Reese had a lot to say. But I think what I've talked with our team about, this is a unique situation that we're in terms of, I think we've played this whole year to kind of, show people who we are and establish who we are and then bring that people. Now we're sitting, with the 1 seed. But what I've talked with them over these last 10 days about is keeping the joy that we have while also playing with a sense of urgency. And I think that's what you saw in the Pac-12 tournament, right? Like I think we haven't played with the weight of the world on our shoulders. I think we've played like we have, a lot of fun together and we really love one another. But then with an urgency that we often are the toughest team out there and we've out-rebounding people and, you can't just be loose and happy. You got to be loose and happy with legs behind it and how tough we're going to be. And that's what we want to keep. And when you do that, people throw around the term family, but it's these players every day showing up, buying in. And like I said, you can't fake how they feel about Otto. And that's because Otto's been that person, for the entire year, every single day. And I think that's when those real bonds and stuff come. So I think it's a real strength of ours. I do. It's not to say other teams don't have it. I don't know. But for us, like we carry that as a confidence builder that we have what we need here. We're really in it for the right reasons, and we want to keep playing as long as we can. But obviously, Kansas is going to pose, a ton of issues on Monday. They're a really good team, and we got to be ready for that because joy alone and togetherness alone doesn't get stopped. So we got to put, a scouting report behind that and really get the job done too. And I think the players understand that.
Thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you, guys.
All right, welcome to the NCAA March Madness first round post-game press conference. Please take this time to silence your cell phones and remember, no flash photography is permitted. We would also like to remind you that no outside recording or distribution is permitted by the NCAA for this event. We are joined by Texas A&M-Corpus Christi head coach Royce Chadwick and athletes Maria Aguado and Alicia Westbrook. We ask that you please only ask a question when you have the microphone in your hand and that you state your name and publication each time you are handed the microphone. If you have joined us through Zoom, please raise your hand and include your name and publication when called on as well. Thank you, and we will begin with an opening statement from Coach, move on to questions from the athletes, and then back to Coach.
Very proud of my team. I thought we fought hard all night long. I really think that USC is the best team that we've played all year, and their length really gave us problems in the first quarter, and I thought we rebounded in the second quarter and came back and fought and did the things that we needed to do, but SC is so explosive. Third quarter, I thought they just exploded, and you turn it over once and then they hit a three. You turn it over again, they hit a three, and now you're starting to wiggle away. And we got a very good basketball team, tons of talent. You have to pick your poison with them about which player you're going to let have the shot, and none of those options are good. So we missed something like 40 shots, and they blocked 14 of them. That's pretty good, on a pretty good number for getting a hand on your shot. And I thought it changed our game immensely with all the block shots.
All right, we'll start with a question in the back.
Connor Morissette with 247 Sports. Congrats on a great season to the two players. I'm curious, what were your impressions of Juju Watkins, one of the best players in college basketball? What was it like playing against her, and what were your thoughts on her game?
Amazing player. We knew how big of a task it would be before coming in the game. We tried to slow her down. We tried to, limit her shots, but, she had a good game, and we did our best to try to limit those.
She's a really good player. We know that. Everybody knows that. But once we step on the court, we got to think that everybody's the same. So we just try to guard her the best that we could. So.
Amanda Scarlock at LA Sentinel. The second quarter, you guys really came back and was able to kind of find your offensive rhythm. What was kind of the key to that? How did you guys find that run?
Yeah, I think we just got settled into the game. Obviously, playing in this big of a stage, it was kind of like a shock moment. So I think we just settled, talked to each other and let them know, like, we're here, we got this, and just tried to play hard and keep fighting.
Yeah, I think it came from our defense. Like, probably first quarter, we were a little bit nervous, first time in the NCAA. But then we were like, okay, like, we know what we're capable of, and then we started playing from our defense.
Atmosphere. What did it mean to have your fans come out and support you guys?
Yeah, it was amazing. We saw all the blue and green out there, so we spotted them out real quick. It was amazing to have them there. They really changed the game for us.
Yeah, they've always been here this season to support us, and we love them.
We have a question from the Zoom. So, Quentin, I'm going to allow you to talk, and whenever you're ready, just go ahead and ask your question.
Quentin Martinez from the Corpus Christi Caller Times. Coach Chadwick mentioned this a little bit, but for the players, the length, I think they blocked 8 or 9 shots in the first quarter. How much was that how much was that a challenge you guys had to adjust to before you guys could kind of find what you guys are doing offensively?
Yeah, I mean, they're tall. Trying to think what to say. Nobody in the Southland is as tall as they were, so I guess we kind of fixed it in the second quarter, but yeah, they're tall.
Yeah, like coach told us like if you go down there, like you're probably gonna have to use one more than one move, and that's what we try to do after the first quarter. So
I think the thing that I'm most proud about our team, blocking the shot is a missed shot, and that's one thing. But what it does to your thought process, and when you get a shot blocked, is a whole different deal. You know, you shoot a shot and miss it. That weighs on your mind. You shoot an air ball, it's a little heavier. You get a shot blocked, now you got to regroup and you got to come back. And that's what I'm the most proud about. What we did, we regrouped, refocused, and they came back and said, okay, you know, I'm not going to let this define me that you blocked my shot. I'm going to come back and play. And that's the resilient team that we've been all year, and I think that's going to bode well for these young ladies for the rest of their life. That resilient thought process when things aren't going your direction.
Do we have any final questions for our athletes? All right, ladies, you guys are good to go if you'd like.
Thank you. Am I staying or going?
What?
Do I go to?
You stay.
Oh, I stay.
We go to questions for you now.
Okay.
If anybody has questions for Coach, we'll start with them from the room.
Hi, Miriam Swanson, Orange County Register. Congratulations on a wonderful season with these ladies.
Thank you.
We're here from LA, but so how far do you think this USC team can go?
You got good guards. No, you have great guards. And when you get in a tournament situation, forwards can do things and centers can do things, but great guards can carry you. And, you know, I'd hesitate to think, I don't think Juju was hot today. What does she do when she's hot? And it's not just her. You know, Forbes is just, an unbelievable talent. And Padilla can shoot the lights out. And Marshall can, do things in and around the paint. And, we just found out, they have people coming off the bench that can block shots. And so, they have the whole thing. You got to get a break too, when the going gets tough. But I think they got the tools and they got the coach. She's seasoned and knows what she's doing, and I don't think they have a limit.
Can I ask, your first time seeing Juju in person, I assume?
Yes.
What'd you make of her?
Well, she's next level. We may have played against a couple of future WNBA caliber players this year, but she's as hard to guard as anybody that we played against all year. And Forbes might be number 2, and Forbes might be number 1. Juju might be I don't know. They're just so hard to guard because they're so versatile. They shoot the 3. They got a mid range, and our whole thing was to try to keep them from getting to the rim, and we were going to live with what they did pull-up wise, and they made us pay for that. And they're really, really, really good players, and they seem humble and seem like really good people, and we'll be cheering for them.
Do we have any other questions in the room? Thank you.
Thomas Johnson, Daily Trojan. Coach, when you're the 16 seed playing the number 1 seed, so what do you say to your team before the game to help motivate them?
Well, we obviously what we didn't work, so we tried to talk to them about playing every possession. If it doesn't go well, just forget it and move on to the next possession. If it went well, don't gloat about it. Just move on to the next possession. We wanted to fight till the end. We wanted to make sure that our fans were proud of the effort that we gave. And, we had times where we came over and said, we're not getting the calls. You didn't expect to get calls. You can't go out there expecting something to happen. You got to go out there and make something happen. And I thought they fought. I thought we gave everything we had all night long. Paige Allen shook hands, and I thought, well, we're a little undersized, at the jump. And Lisa goes up, and I'm like, man, we're giving up a couple of inches there. And so we weren't the biggest team on the floor, but I thought we played with big heart. And that's what we were after, was to come out and see what happens. You never know. I mean, maybe A couple people have bad nights, and some people, we have good guards. We have good Southland guards, and they get hot and get going. We could put on a show. So it didn't work out, but I was very proud of the effort and the heart and the desire our team played with.
All right, we do have Quentin on Zoom again with a question. So, Quentin, whenever you are ready, you may ask.
Quinton Martinez, Corpus Christi, Caller Times. Coach, this run has kind of been something you've been building towards. You guys had 2 regular season titles in the last 5 years. To finally get there, especially with the team, you guys have half a dozen players that are seniors or older. What does this do for the program, and what the expectations are going to be moving forward to finally check that box and get to the NCAA tournament?
Well, it takes a while to change your culture, Quentin, and I think we got our culture changed now where when we step out on the floor, we are playing for championships in our mind, and that's half the battle in this day and time, that you got to believe in what you're doing. There were no championships. We won some basketball games, but we had no championships till Alicia Westbrook got there, and Paige Allen and Vio Verano, and now we are in a situation where we think that we can compete for Southland championships every year. And this experience was really good for our fans, good for our players. It's something that these players will cherish for the rest of their lives. And they had the opportunity to come to LA and play USC. And, that's why USC needs to win the whole thing, so that we can say, oh, yeah, we played them. And, so it's just a wonderful experience. College athletics is not supposed to be about how much money you can make, NIL. It's supposed to be about the experience and the people that you get an opportunity to interact with. And we are old school NCAA. We don't have a lot of NIL people on our team. They're playing the game because they love the game, they love their teammates, and Lisi turned down some NIL money to stay with us and play, and now she's got, thousands of dollars worth of memories that she can cherish with her for the rest of her life, whereas she could have had, some money doing NIL things. Just very proud of my team for being first class.
Do we have any final questions? All right, thank you so much, Coach.